Welcome to the Yes Show, Young, Entertaining, and Saved. I'm your host, LaCora Stevens. Today we have a great show for you with our guest of the day, Jason Myers, founder of wiSAVED Entertainment. When Christianity Goes Wrong with Robert C. Mitchell, and music video of the day by Raely, Elle of Never Fade Records, When the World Stops. The Yes Show begins now.
Yes.
So you said you were going to lose weight because you have that perfect dress and that perfect place to wear it. You've stopped drinking soda and laying off all the sugar. So how was it that you can't seem to shake that last 5 to 10 pounds? Could it be that your church is making you fat? Here to discuss when Christianity goes wrong, we have Robert C. Mitchell.
Hello, LaCora.
How are you?
I'm very well, and this subject matter today, I feel like you're picking on me. I think this is personal.
No, I'm not picking on you, Robs. I mean, why would I pick on you? You're a slim young man.
I'm manipulating the black, and you know that.
I do know that. No. But today we are going to discuss how the church is making us fat. Do you feel that that is actually happening right now?
I know where you're coming from, and in some cases, yes, but I do think that there's a lot of awareness that they're making now, especially with people actually suffering from a lot of different diseases right now. So
you would think
yes.
so. But from your experience being at church, how many times has your pastor or bishop or brother, elder, so-and-so have told you, that you should be doing this, or teaching you what proper diet to take, or giving statistics on how many folks have high cholesterol, high blood pressure? Has that happened?
I'm sorry, Pastor. No.
It hasn't. Exactly. And that's why we need to talk about it.
Yes.
So I actually did some studying.
Okay.
And the source comes from Time magazine, Health and Family, and it says that religious involvement is linked to many positive health outcomes.
Okay.
Now, it is a positive of going to church. So you guys hear that? Go to church, because it can what? Bring you happiness.
Yes, it can.
Okay?
Yes.
It could lower rates of smoking and alcohol use, and even a longer life. Why are you laughing?
I know a lot of smokers and drinkers.
I know,
so
it ain't even right, Rob.
It ain't
Sometimes I go to
right.
church and
they be outside in the parking lot
smoking.
I just feel bad.
But I think sometimes, because you're surrounded by people that say, you know what, brother so-and-so, maybe you need to let that go. And I think maybe it does play a role into,
I know, but the people I see, they don't seem like they're even guilty. It's like, hey, Brother Robert.
Smoking. Puffing smoke around you, huh?
Blowing it in my face, all in my suit,
How you doing, Brother Rob? But no. It even also says it could give you a longer life. Now, those who attended church were most likely to have a broader social network, which in turn may lead to more opportunities to gather around food and drinks, and that's the problem.
Is it?
It's the problem because normally it's just like when you find a new boyfriend or a new girlfriend. You go out all the time, you date and you eat. That's what you do. You hang out with your girlfriends, you eat. And those last 5 to 10 pounds, you just can't shake it off.
Yeah. Because I'm in a different position because I am a caterer.
You
but,
are.
I cook with all the fats and the bacons that is needed.
Yes, you do, Robs. And you know what? I actually brought a source. Now, because Robert caters in soul food, right, Robert?
Yes.
I brought this. Look at this. Soul food recipes building healthy traditions. Now, this tells you how you can make those greens without the bacon and the fat back and the salt. You're not interested?
I'll listen, but
Look, Robert, they have some great things. From turkey burgers.
I like turkey burgers.
Instead of those fattening burgers at the church, like the beef and all that stuff. Or you could
those be the best ones, but yeah, I understand.
I don't know, because a lot of times, people are making spaghetti with sugar. Do you make spaghetti with sugar, Robert?
Again, out there, this is a personal attack, and you're not going to do that right now.
No.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying that all the sugar that we are eating, it is making us fat. And another study, let me just chill. You guys have to pay attention to what you are eating.
Yes.
It says researchers at Northwestern University sought to find out how attending religious events is associated with weight gain over time. They analyzed data from the coronary artery risk development and young adult study, which followed more than 2,400 people. Age 20 to 32, that's about our age range, all right? And over that time, the scientists reported that at the American Heart Association conference, that people who went to church or church activities at least once a week, that's your Bible study, that's your choir rehearsal, right. Okay, that you guys are twice as likely to basically become obese. So if you attend church at least twice a week, you most likely are overweight. It's not true for all people, but what can we do about it?
I think that definitely needs to be more education.
Yes.
And, you know, because honestly, even with what I cater, I have cut back and I have taken different routes, because in a lot of things I do, I actually use turkey meat now.
Oh, good.
So I definitely think that we need that, and it is needed because, you know, again, we deal with a lot of diseases, diabetes and everything. So especially as a cultural people as well.
Right.
So absolutely, I agree. I'm with that.
Yeah, because a lot of times you go to church and they talk about, you know, taking care of your temple, you know, by not fornicating or not smoking and alcohol. But what about what I'm eating?
Right.
What about that, Pastor?
Right.
You're going to tell me about my health and my diet and about the sugar intake and the salt intake? Yeah. You know, so we have to do something about it.
We do.
Even with working out, some churches have decided to have workout meetings like Zumba. And
this is true.
Yeah, yes. And what is it with the fitness thing? Insane.
Oh, insanity.
Insanity.
Insanity, yes.
You know, so we have to
I watched that video before.
Did you decide to use it, Rob?
No,
because it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, no, I watched it, you know, ate some popcorn and I went to sleep. Yeah.
Robert, you got to stop it. You have to make sure that you're working out because you're my friend and I'm concerned about you.
I am, though. I am. I lost.
You are looking good, Rob. Yeah, I will say. You've been doing your running and stuff like that?
I have.
So are you guys doing your running? And if you're not, make sure that you take the time to take care of yourselves because this is our temple. All right. Now, at this time, if you guys have anything to say or you want to chime in, talk to Robert, talk to me.
Talk to me.
You know, go to www.yesshowtv.com. Right now, we're going to go into a commercial, and we will be back with our first guest.
There is really only one boy. One girl. One tree. One forest. One deep, dancing ocean. One mountain calling. One handful of sand through our fingers. One endless sky overhead. And one simple way to care for it all. Please visit earthshare.org and learn how the world's leading environmental groups are working together under one name, EarthShare. One environment, one simple way to care for it.
Welcome back to the Yes Show. Today we have the innovative creative founder of wiSAVED Entertainment Group. Welcome, Mr. Jason Myers.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So
Excellent.
You made it all the way out here from
Riverside.
Ooh.
Yes.
Brother, I appreciate you coming.
Oh, well, you know, I appreciate you inviting me.
Of course. I saw that they were promoting it Kingdom Business. They were talking about it last year sometime.
Yeah,
And I said, what is this?
Yep,
I want to
yep.
check it out. I wasn't able to check out wiSAVED. I'm sorry, but that's why you are here.
Okay,
So that you can let me know what I missed, what it's about,
Yep.
and what we have to look for in the future, okay?
Definitely.
So what is wiSAVED?
So wiSAVED is a entertainment company that just literally puts on Christian events.
Okay.
And it's taken it, in my opinion, out of the church, you know, which I believe the church is really a holy place, you know, and your last segment really hit home. You don't even get me started on that because I go in on it.
You could tell me just a little something. What are your thoughts?
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like as the body, you know, after church, every Sunday, it don't have to be where we gonna go eat at.
Right.
Where we gonna, you know, let's go catch a movie because you're gonna get nachos, icy, large.
Yes.
It's only 50 cents more to get
Right.
the large popcorn. You want to get it? Sure, why not? Let me just add some more salt in my
With
life.
all
you
the
know?
and the butter.
Yeah, you know, and the flavor butter, the
Right.
flavor salt, you know,
I
and
like
then
that flavor
you get
salt,
candy
though.
because you don't feel complete, you know.
Right.
Even if you go eat before the movies, you still get all that stuff.
Right.
And you're right, our body is a temple. And somebody, you know, I don't know how everybody feel about tattoos, but I have a few of them. And somebody was like, well, you're defiling the temple. And I said, well, what about what you eat?
Right.
Is it that? Or, I mean, how you going to judge me based on that I have tattoos, but you have
Right.
terrible eating habits?
Twinkies in your belly. You have
On the side of the bed with the
jelly bean.
drawer.
Right. Not on the
Regular
side of the
middle
bed.
of the night, we just open it and start eating. Like, get your life together. But anyway.
But at least with
Yeah.
with wiSAVED, they could actually, you
Yes.
know, get some of
Yes.
that weight off by going to some
Definitely.
of these events.
Yeah, because you know our goal is to do events that just show that we're free in Christ, and that's
Right.
really what it comes down to. Because a lot of times we go to churches and we go to different events, and there's a lot of restrictions around it because they feel like, well, you know, you can't dance, you can't do this. It's like, look, David danced till his clothes came off, so clearly
Yes,
he was
he
getting it
did.
in, and it wasn't like a provocative dance or anything like that. He was just
Right.
dancing really to show his appreciation to Christ and
Right.
or to God at that point. But you know, it comes down to we're free. We're free to have, you know, a good time, listen to music. You know, I don't agree with drinking, so we don't have any alcohol there or anything like
Good.
that. You know, if you smoke, like that's your own conviction, but you're not gonna do it in our
Right,
facility. You gotta step
exactly.
outside and until God deal with you on that. But you know, I feel like there's direct laws around drinking, you know, as a Christian. So
Right.
that's what our event is. You know, you go, you have a good time, you're around like-minded people.
Right.
You know, you don't have to worry about a guy rolling up on you like, yo,
Like,
what's
yo,
up, shorty?
What it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
Black. How
yeah,
you
you-
doing, Red? What
Right.
it do, Ma?
Yeah.
Stop.
I mean, I ain't gonna say that you won't ever have that.
Right,
You know what I'm
there's still
saying?
some folks working. They still working on the inside. You know, you got to pray
Lord,
for
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yes.
I be praying for myself, like, Lord, keep me strong.
Okay, because I don't know,
But-
Jason, weren't you on my Facebook talking about what it do, Ma? No, I'm
I
playing.
was like, damn, I thought I deleted that post. No.
I'm kidding.
No, but you know, I mean, but also to be real, like our events are for that. Because I mean, now let's take the flip side. You go to church and you see a girl you like. I mean, what you say? Yeah, girl, you was getting it in when you was worshiping
But-
during service.
Now,
Like,
hold up. There is a song. I remember.
I know exactly what song you talking.
Yes, but we're not even going to say anything.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the
no,
first
no,
time
no.
I heard the song, I'm like, really?
Yeah,
You're
no,
looking
no.
at the way I praise and catch
Yeah,
the Holy
yeah.
Ghost.
You
like,
at church,
really?
so what?
Brother,
Get
you
your focus
shouldn't
right.
be on-
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, everybody in their hands up. He like,
Talking about it. She looked kind of
Mhm.
fine. Catching that spirit over there.
right, you
What
know,
is that?
that's not even really the place to do it, you
It
know.
isn't.
And you know, in younger years, I always ask like, well, you know, when do I approach a girl at church or how? You know what I mean? Like, so that brings the opportunity. You know, if you feeling a girl and you say, you know what, I want to take you somewhere. You know, I want to take you out and have a good time. It's not the pressure of do we order drinks, do we not?
And
it's
the
like,
good thing is that there's other people around, and like you said,
Yeah.
like-minded people. I really
Yep,
think that
yep.
dating, and even though this isn't about dating, because we're
Right.
going to talk about wiSAVED, but I think that
Yeah.
it should be in like a group setting, like
Yeah,
starting
yeah,
out, you
yeah,
know, getting
yeah.
to know your friends, and
Yep.
how does she or he act around his friends?
Yeah,
Who are his or
Yeah,
her friends? You
yep,
know what I mean?
yep.
But what does wiSAVED mean?
So we say it literally stands for we're intentionally saved.
So
you know.
W-I, we're intentionally saved.
Yeah, and that came about because God just really impressed on me like salvation doesn't happen by chance. You know what I mean? Like you have to work to be saved. I mean,
Yes,
people,
it's work.
And don't get me wrong, we are saved by grace through faith, but it's like that takes work.
It
like and
does.
people don't get it like, oh, we're saved, you can do whatever you want to do. Like, no, like he said, if you love me, you'll follow my commands. So you got
Right.
to put work in. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like you
thank
can't just
you.
be living any kind of life
Right.
thinking he gonna be like, oh, at the end of the day, oh well, you said you love me, so come on in.
But that's what a lot of
Like,
folks
you
do
know,
that. They like,
I
but
know they do.
you know, I mean, I believe in him, and so I mean, I could do whatever I want because
Yeah,
he's going to forgive
yeah.
me anyway, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yep.
So
But-
I totally hear you.
Yeah, so that's really one of our biggest things. It's like, we have to be intentional about it. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're at work or you're anywhere you go or even in relationships, a lot of times, we get in relationships when we get caught up in being so happy at a
Right.
moment, we kind of start, our salvation, even though we know it's there, it's kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, well, yeah, praise the Lord, I'm happy. So I must not need Jesus right now.
Right.
But,
Exactly.
it's really about just being intentional about your salvation, being aggressive about it,
Did
like,
you
I am
come up
saved.
with this by yourself, or is it, a group? Like, how
Man,
did this
it-
come about?
Honestly, to make a long story short, I was at work one day and I was standing next to somebody and God just impressed in my heart, like, you're going to do something great. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. Like, I never felt like that. And I said, you ever felt like you was going to do something great? And he was like, man, you crazy. My coworkers, just laughed at me and walked off. And God started dealing with me about what we were going to call it, and then I'm the founder of it, but I have a partner, Chris, who, you know, God told me that he was going to be a part of it, and he showed me a few other people that are going to be in, and I was just like, well, we can call it like Saved, and we were kind of going through names, and I was like, we Saved, and I was like, well, it's me and him, so we are saved. And then I was sitting in the chair one night, and God was like, no, you're going to spell it W-I, and I'm like, that's weird. So okay, I just wrote it down, and then I'm sitting there still just thinking about, you know, what we were going to do. And then he started breaking it down to me like, no, you're intentional, and it's you guys, and we're saved, and it's going to be multiple people that come in.
Right.
And when you tell somebody like, hey, you know, I'm going to an event, what is it about? Oh, you know, it's a wiSAVED event. And you know that people that are coming, it's clear what the message is. But when you go there, it's like we had a good time.
And see, and I saw that you guys not only did, and I want to ask you about the very first event that you guys
the launch
had,
party.
the launch party, as well as I saw some promotion about a Valentine's Day cruise.
And I'll go into
so
that.
so talk about these events and what, if someone is on the outside looking in, if they are to go to a wiSAVED event, what is it like? What do we see? What do we feel?
Okay.
Okay.
So the launch party was really to introduce to everybody what our events would be like and the standard that we're going to set.
Okay.
And we set a standard that was high. You know what I mean? We had a great venue. It was at the Citizens Business Bank Arena in Ontario. And we brought out DJ Wado, which is, he has a radio show. It's in New Jersey, but, you know, it's a podcast. He's everywhere. And, you know, he's a really good dude, man. He was like, yeah, I'll come, you know. And Kingdom Business came, and, you know, they're just an awesome band and a group within themselves. So they performed, and we had dancing. I mean, it was like we had all kinds of food, and everything was just like, look, you pay $20 to get in. Everything else is on us, pretty much, you know. So it was awesome. We had dancing. Everybody had a good time. Like, when we were at the end, the people were just standing outside talking. I'm like, this is really like the club, but it's not a club, you know.
But it's not a club.
But the thing is with the wiSAVED events is if somebody came from the outside and somebody just said, oh, I'm going to this event, come with me, they wouldn't know that it was a Christian event until they actually heard the words. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, wait, did he say Jesus in that song? Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it's like, because my biggest thing is like, I don't want to throw corny events. Like, I refuse to do it.
No
like,
corny? So you think that the church specializes in corny events?
Man, they have mastered corny events. You know what I mean?
Stop it.
I truly
Not
believe that.
all
like
churches.
Look, I've been to, we're not going to say all churches.
Okay.
I would say 98% of the churches have mastered corny events because it's always.
That's a lot.
Tell me how many events you went to at churches where you was like, you know what, I really feel like I just got it in. Like, you know. And I mean, you know,
a few, because my church, we have, you know, different groups, bands from the church. A lot of the musicians, they do side shows. We host different events at my church. So sometimes, you know, it could, but we can't like get it in, like, because I love to dance. I'm from Florida.
And then you got all the pews and stuff, so they, you know,
but
you just end up standing behind the pews.
We don't use the pews. We don't use the church, you know.
So
we use, it's like the NPR, multi-purpose room.
Got it.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So taking your church out of the equation, how many more are there?
Well,
so,
well,
right, you know, which is what it is. And I mean, I'm not saying that there's some churches that do throw good events. But the bottom line is there's not a lot of them. You go there and the pastor, I'm gonna just be up for just one moment, and it's like, I'm not gonna be before you long.
Right.
You shouldn't even be up here. We having a good time. You know what I mean? And you know, my dad is a minister, and he does the same thing. You know, he liked to get up and talk. And you know, one New Year's Eve we were having just a gathering at somebody's house, and then all of a sudden, Pastor, why don't you just give us a quick word? I was like, no. I'm out of here, yo. I'm out. I'm leaving.
Just because the pastor said, give us a quick word.
Yeah, because I mean, my thing is like this. When you have church and you have entertainment.
Yes.
And it's very important that it's a balance there. And when I go to an event that I want to be entertained at, I really need like just outright to have a good time. Like the word is in me. I've been having the word Wednesday, Sunday, mess around and have a Friday night Bible study or something.
Right.
And then you hang with Christian people all the time, so you know you're going to have that conversation.
You're right.
It's like, I just want to come here, have a good time without like all the extras. You know what I'm saying?
Playing devil's advocate.
Okay, yeah.
So one will say, okay, so you have this event. You won't even know that it's like a church event because you have the music, you have the dancing, and then you may hear Jesus.
Right.
But playing devil's advocate,
yeah.
If someone says, well, brother, when are you going to bring in the word? When does the actual evangelizing happen? When does that take place? What would be your response?
I would say whenever you decide to evangelize to somebody and bring them to the event.
Okay,
You know
so
what I mean?
it won't be overt like an altar call. Let's DJ stop the
No.
music.
No.
DJ stop the
No.
music. We're going to have an altar call.
No.
So it won't be that.
No.
It'll just be something.
Yeah, it's really what it is there's a lot of churches that don't have young adult ministries, and that's
True,
one of the
true.
that's one of the biggest age gaps where we lose
So
them.
true.
So
And that's why they go out to the world, or they hang out with,
Right.
the homegirls and the homies,
yep.
because they don't have an outlet.
they don't, and that's really what we're supplying is that outlet.
Amen.
It's like, hey, and that's one of my things now. I'm reaching out to a lot of the smaller churches and just churches in general, saying, look, this age group is being neglected, and we're providing something, but we need your help.
Right.
So that'll circle us around to the Valentine's event. So we rented out a yacht that was able to fit 300 people, and put a significant amount of money down, and we did all this stuff. And then once it came to ticket sales, we had a lot of talk, like, oh, I got you, this week, next week, this week, next week, and then it came to a point where I had to make a decision: do I still do this and lose out on thousands,
Yeah.
or do I just cancel it, and give people a fair chance to still plan their Valentine's out? And unfortunately, I had to cancel it. You know what I mean? Just because the support wasn't there, which was a learning lesson.
Right.
You realize people talk.
Well, how do
You
you,
know what I mean?
market? How do you reach the masses to let them know about wiSAVED Entertainment Group?
And that was where I had to make it was a learning decision for me. Like we talked to a lot of people. We hand to hand. We were at clubs. We were everywhere. We did a lot. We do a lot of promoting. We on the phones. But it's a new thing for the Inland Empire,
Yeah.
Christian hip hop. And I mean for LA even within itself, because even in the LA area you got Christian hip hop, but they're more on the spoken word tip.
Right,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
It's like, well, that's for the youth, but it's not. Like you got the Walk as Kings, Collision Records. They're doing a lot more toward the older people or the young adults, and you got people like Sho Baraka, who is
I
not
love Sho
necessarily
Baraka.
he's not
Let me
necessarily
say
doing
that.
the Christian thing, but his message is powerful. And
It
it's for the young
is.
adult. It's like it's not for youth groups anymore, but people they don't know that right now.
Right.
So it's like we gonna bring this artist out, and they're like, oh, okay, should I send my son? Like, no, you come. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you come and enjoy yourself. So we were doing a lot of marketing, but then I realized, you know what, I have to get the support from the local churches. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, like partnerships and things
Yeah,
like
I
that.
said, look, I don't want none of y'all money. I just want y'all to say, when we have an event, send your
Spread
young
the
adults.
word,
Like, I ain't trying to start a church, so they ain't gonna, we all saved and belong to Christ, but I'm not trying to steal your members. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I know how it feels to not have anything to do, and then all of a sudden look up and you out in the world. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
say that.
I don't even want to.
again.
I mean, I could go into my whole little
Right.
my year of rebellion,
Yes.
knowing I was doing wrong, but I was just
Right.
like, I just can't take it no more.
I ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah.
You're sitting at home in a little box and you're like, well,
Yep.
I got all these cute
Yep.
clothes in my closet. I want to go out. I want to do something.
Well, I don't got cute clothes. But
Well, I have cute clothes. You
Yeah,
know what I
I
mean?
feel your
Just-
blazer,
you
you know.
like that?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, well, what am I going to do?
Yeah,
You
you gonna
know?
wear them cute clothes around the house.
Exactly.
Right.
That, and
breaking
that makes
breaking
no
them shoes.
sense.
I'm about to break these in on this
Okay.
carpet, but that's all you got.
And
you
that's
know?
it.
Yeah. So
Well, what can we look for in the future?
So right now, what we're doing is we're looking for a building where we can actually host a continuous event, where it's like every week or every month or bi-weekly. Now the challenge is we go into places and we're saying, like, we don't want to do it at a church, so we want to do it here. And they're like, okay, talk to us about your organization. We tell them, and they're like, oh, so you guys aren't serving alcohol, so okay. And for a lot of venues,
where they make their
alcohol,
money.
they make their money there. So then they say, okay, well, you guys can still do it, but this will be your overhead. So we pretty much have to pay for all of the alcohol
Right.
that people would have drunk, and then the regular venue. So we back into the number, and then we look and we like, man, we have to charge like $20, $25 a ticket to come in here and do what you can do with that $10 at a club,
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it right,
Okay.
and man, God is really working on patience with me, because I am not the one to wait, and I want to do certain things, but my partner Chris definitely keeps me in my right state of mind. I'm like, yeah, let's
Right.
do it. I don't care how much it costs. He's like, nah, man, you can't keep spending money like that. And I'm like,
I know. You
all
got to
right,
be wise about it.
So he keeps me in the loop. He keeps me strong and backs me up and keep me in the reality. So you can look forward to some events coming up pretty soon. We're just really trying to find that perfect place to have them at, and somewhere we can do it consistent so people know where to find wiSAVED.
Okay.
Another thing we're going to be doing, which just came out yesterday, it's a long time ago, but we just going to put it into action, is a group called Iron Sharpen Iron. It's going to be a men's group.
Oh, cool.
And it's literally going to be, we're going to meet up and we're just going to chop it up about the word, like topics that we're dealing with in our lives. And we're just going to go at it, you know what I'm saying, and challenge each other. And we just, that way we can walk away and say, you know what, like, even though I may not agree with what they said, now I have a different perspective of it, and now I can see how other people feel, and just bounce things off, like you said, relationships. Like
Right.
guys don't really talk about relationships anyway.
They don't, and it's much needed.
It is
It's much needed.
It
So
is,
if you wanted to sum up any words for your viewers, or for the fans or people interested in wiSAVED, what will your last words or comments be for them?
That's kind of tough, but I would just say go to wiSAVED.com. Which is WISAVED.com, or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and that's where you'll find a lot of stuff. When you come like you're going to the club with a little bit of class. You know what I mean? Don't dress like you're coming to church, because you're gonna stand out. Just be ready to have a good time. Whatever your mindset is about what's gonna happen, just take that all away and just come open-minded. And that'll be pretty much to sum it up. Like, we're looking to do a lot of great things. So
you guys heard that?
Yep.
wiSAVED are looking to do a lot of great things. So make sure you go to their website, and be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. and p.m. here at the Yes Show, and visit our website at YesShowTV.com for past episodes. You'll be tuning in again. Yes? Yes. All right, to end us off, we have Raely, Elle of Never Fade Records, When the World Stops. God bless, and remember to use your talent to glorify God. Bye. Thank you so much.